How are you guys doing? You guys don't have a camera view yet, and I don't have a SIM card in. But we're starting it off right. Not knowing what we're doing. Generally being a mess. That's right. It's time for art. How are you guys doing? Just got enough time for a quick art stream. Just got done playing some Dark Souls. And it's good. I really want to do probably an arcade thing based on that at some point. Because it's been good. I need to find a good area. It's Dark Souls 3 specifically. But anyway, let me show you what I've been working on. I've been working on this. You can't see it. There it is. Hi. And then let's get the little foot in the right spot. So the way I figure out how to get this in the right spot every time is I've got little pieces of tape on the ground. You're all upside down. That's the roof. It's a little bit dusty. Sorry about that. Just go ahead and get this lined up just right. Anyway, what are you guys going to be working on while I'm working on this painting, which is from CSGO Black Site. One of the spots you can drop in, one of the first places I tried to drop in was this lighthouse here. This is just the island that the lighthouse is on. And if I can get the camera to stop freaking out, we can do this. Seems like it wants to freak out. I also forgot to put bandages on my arm. Hopefully it's not too gross. Anyway, I should probably actually put some band-aids on it. I'm forgetful as crap. How big is that? That's kind of gross. Okay, let me go get a band-aid. Just a big one to put on top of it. You're playing Slay the Spire. That's a good start. Just squeeze past y'all. Put a big old band-aid on it. Just keep scratching it in my sleep and it won't heal. Ah. Okay, there we go. Let me squeeze back in here. Herman's over there just taking a little nap in his crib. He'll put himself to bed every now and then. Try and not trip over myself. Anyway, here we go. You're trying to do some Bronze Age short story, some Robert E. Howard style stuff. I have no idea what you're referring to, but you do, which means you know exactly what you're doing, which is a good start. Take the thing off, put the card in. It did eject it, right? Don't know. Computer hasn't gotten mad at me yet, so I guess I did. We're going to be doing your standard, I guess, bring your own music affair today. And so if you don't have some music, now would be a good time to find some. I need to find some good music for the wedding that I'm going to, specifically my own. That's going to be here in about a month. And so as such, we need to just have music that you have on while people are kind of just milling around waiting for the wedding, or just after the wedding, or while people are eating, or what have you. Doesn't have to be loud, doesn't have to be like interesting. Atmospheric, not necessarily. Maybe instrumental. That's what I'm going to be looking for. Also, YouTube has a community page that they use to update, and they updated it recently with a thing about their new rules they're going to have about community. Sorry, I'm just screwing with the focus. Community requirements. Like what kind of stuff you can do. Like don't... Obviously don't cuss, that kind of thing. They said recently not cussing within the first 30 seconds is a big deal. So I've actually, I was doing my edit of the Dark Souls thing, and I actually went out of my way to make sure I didn't cuss in the first 30 seconds. Let's see. I feel like that's like a small concession to be made, especially because part of the first 30 seconds is that intro song, you know? Let me pull up my reference picture and then we'll get started proper. I apologize for the long startup time. Lighthouse. Didn't put an E in there just because I felt like it. If you guys have recommendations for songs that like you could listen to casually, that'd be good. But I'm going to be listening to Strengthening Community Guidelines, comma, thumbnail A/B experiment, comma, and new studio beta features by Creator Insider, YouTube's official thing. I kind of hate them, but you know. Strengthening enforcement of community guidelines. Oof. They say don't link to other websites, but then they don't explain what sites are okay. Like, is my art website okay? Play lo-fi hip-hop radio 24/7 chill beats to mill about to a wedding too. Sounds about right. I mean, like, who links pornography off of their YouTube channel? Like, what is that? How widespread is that they have to address it? Oh, I need to start the recording. They're really not clear about what any of this means. They say just look at the community guidelines page, but that's not clear, and then we ask questions and they just go look at the community guidelines page. Torrent stuff, okay, fair enough. That's probably pretty widespread. I've seen that, so that sounds right. I mean, like, on the surface, everything he says makes sense. Let me link it in chat so you know what I'm talking about. That's the one I'm watching. Oh, I didn't link it, did I? Here you go. There you go. That's like the Daddy-O 5 kind of stuff where you're like pranking your children by harassing them and making fun of them. That's fine. I don't mind any of the prank stuff because I don't prank people. That's not my thing. So I got some grass up on this little plateau here, so I need to make sure I get that. That's what I'm working on right now. It's really just like the am I allowed to cuss thing that I'm worried about, because it's going to be real hard to go completely clean cut in order to stay on YouTube, to the point where it doesn't seem like it would be worth it anymore. Like, I can do it on this channel because most of this stuff is like, I record lines in advance, I think about what I'm saying, and I'm like, okay, I shouldn't cuss there. Plus, it's not really required for the viewing. I like that they're letting us know in advance that they're going to be changing the rules. That's really nice, and it's nice to see that they care at least that much now. They're trying not to blindside us anymore, which is good, but they're not being clear about what their rules are. And they also use one bypass, or one bot bypass censoring, which is super dumb. I really don't think I've got anything that's like outside the acceptable, because they gave me a pass on a Sakura Spirit video, so I feel like I'm probably okay. It is. It really is pulling itself into like mainstream media, and that's, I get it. Like, that's safe. That's easy to like predict the path of, but this is what makes YouTube good, is that it's not safe. I don't feel like the rules are like evenly enforced either. So I mean, if I could have like the choice of which thumbnails are available, that would be fine. And not really banning swearing, it's just like excessive swearing. I feel like I need to have custom thumbnails in order to do things the way I like them. The thumbnails that you make are your brand, and so just randomly changing my brand is not cool. Like, I'd be fine with saying I'm PG-13, because I am. I don't want kids to watch my stuff. You know, I don't make kid-friendly stuff. Tilda was messaging me, making sure that I'm good, and if we can maybe hold off on doing some stuff because she's feeling a bit sick today. I'm going to come back to that area because it needs a little bit of love, but I can't give it right now. What qualifies as excessive swearing? They literally have not said. So we don't know. That's kind of my problem. Is it's just like, I don't have a definition of any of these terms. Yeah, I say a lot of cuss words. I admit that, and that's fine. I'm definitely PG-13. I'm not PG. But I'm not R-rated, you know? You don't see... I don't know, maybe R. Soft R. Hard PG. They want us to use the studio beta thing, but it's really not there yet, so I don't really feel like using it. I'm gonna have a real hard time switching over when I'm forced to switch over to YouTube, whatever. I have a feeling that, like, the line that they want is, like, we don't cuss at all. But that's not gonna happen for me on most of my channels. I'm just kind of penciling in where this lighthouse needs to actually be. Well, it's not finished yet, so don't try and force me into it yet. Yeah. Like, how many times can I drop an F-bomb per hour? And they said certain cuss words are, like, off limits. So I probably can't say, like, the C word. That's fine. I don't really do that. But, like, the C word. Sorry, just watching these makes me grumpy. I feel like I would get people in trouble if you listen to my measure of PG-13 is like, would a kid repeat what is being said and done? Okay, and then they do their stupid movie quote. This is cute, but no one actually likes that. We just want to know whether or not our lives will end in a month or two. Just that's all we need to know. Thank you. Alright, how about lo-fi? I'm gonna go with the lo-fi hip-hop radio beats to relax/study to. Live right now. So I'm a live YouTube channel watching a live YouTube channel. Redundancy. I feel like this channel also got in trouble at one point for stealing its content. I don't know how much that's true. Oop. Cut it out the music there. What happened there? You can't say cucumber. Yeah, cucumber is just one of those words you're not allowed to say. Oh, I wasn't. Try and keep this channel clean, but every now and then a cucumber slips out. Did it just cut off? Or am I dumb? An error occurred. There it is. "2 a.m. here. 3 exams on..." Oof. Go to sleep, my dude. It keeps cutting in and out. I need to find a different one to listen to. "In the rain. Lo-fi hip-hop with rain 10 hours. There you go. I'm very out of practice as far as art goes. It's showing. I kind of slacked off while I was sick. And by slacked off, I mean I almost died. So, you know. God, anytime I watch those, I get grumpy. The song is so bad it makes me want to practice guitar. Add a little bit of blue right here just to kind of like inform that there's a shadow going on. But like the light hits it weird. So it'd be like so. Add some more white, make this super pale. And there we go. Because I need a little bit of blue hint to this, but not a lot. Just a little bit through this area. It's got some like shingling, so we're going to have to come back in with a smaller brush. And it's got kind of the same level of blue right through here. I spoke to a woman the other day, a fairly successful local artist. The person officiating our wedding asked what I did for a living, and I said art, because I don't like trying to explain streaming to people, especially when they're a little bit older. You know, there was that guy recently who, you know, H-Bomber or whatever his name is, who did that, and that makes it a little easier, because then I'm like, you know that thing that guy did? I do that on a daily basis, but with other games, and not for charity, except for sometimes I do it for charity, you know? Like that, I feel like that would be a little easier to explain, but that hadn't happened as of when we met her. So, I'm just going to say art, I think, for most people, just because it's easier. And, I don't know. Not to get philosophical, but my dad, when I was growing up, and still does, works at a store, but he plays music for a living, you know? That's how I like to see it. Everything seems to be stable after the repair. Yeah, it looks like we're good now. A tiny, tiny little brown in here would not hurt. Kind of make this a little bit darker. Make it a little easier to tell where this is. Some of these lines, some of these riffs that they've got in these are awful, dude. Like, more fitting for, like, I don't know, any other genre of music than what they're claiming it is. Tried to explain charity streaming to lawyers the other week. I feel like charity streaming's a little easier to explain, just because it's like people do a lot of weird crap for charity, you know? Like, Tilda was telling me about how she did some like jump rope thing or something like that. I forget exactly what it was for charity. It was like a team thing, or they had to like put their hand on a car. It was something along those lines, and she did it for charity. It's a weird thing to do, but when you're like, oh, well, it's for charity, it's like, that's a little less weird. Like, that makes sense. It's difficult, like, mentally to do, but, like, it takes very little skill to be trained to do it. It was something along those lines. So it's like, you can understand how that would be difficult, and you could see yourself joining in and helping out. But just regular streaming, I don't know, man. That sounds great, Rebecca. That sounds really cool, actually. Oh, really? Are we already almost out of battery? I didn't charge it. Well, I'm an idiot, guys. So once the camera clicks off, we'll be done for streaming for tonight. I don't really feel too confident with my painting skill right now, so I guess it works out, but... yeah, it's gonna break any second now. That's unfortunate. I did the painting of the skull, and I guess I didn't go and charge it afterwards. Well, at least, you know, I did my promise to myself that I put paint on canvas. Any favorite albums you listen to? I've been really, really jamming out to, like, Gwar and Motorhead over the past year. Which is kind of the problem I'm having with, like, finding good songs for the wedding. Because, I don't know, Gwar and Motorhead don't really make nice, chill, easy listening songs. It's the opposite of what they do, and it's kind of why I like them. Is it's not chill, because, you know, things aren't chill. We need to be like, ooh, get going, like, get excited, you know, like, that's the point. I don't get, I was talking about it last time, I don't get music where it's just like you can listen to it in the background, unless if that's the point of it. But I would hate to have something that I spent all my time and energy on just be in the background of a CVS or something, you know? Guess I'll take this as a moment to just learn a little bit about stuff. But do you guys have any like cutesy romantic kind of songs, like a Michael Bublé kind of thing to have for while like the wedding thing's happening? You can't call it lo-fi hip-hop and play like trance. I don't know what this is. This is just trap music, but they've put rain over it. Wedding music for Rev's wife featuring Hatsune Miku. There you go. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Thank you. Hatsune Miku. That's what I need. Just a little bit of that. The world is mine. It's the only track from her I know. Under Moonlight by El Creepo. Like, Gwar is not something you have a nice, chill dance to. It's the kind of song you get bathed in blood to. You know? That's the kind of music they play. And I like that about them, you know? Because there are times where I just need to scream and I need to be angry about things. And there's cognitive dissonance when I'm trying to listen to, like, happy, cheery, fun time, everything is great kind of songs, while, like, I'm depressed or I'm angry or just I need to be hyped for something. Like, it's not what I'm looking for. I'm not going to bash other people's taste in music, but it's just like, I need something else, and they don't provide it. That's why I don't really get pop, is it's just like, I mean, there's a time and a place, I guess, for just like, everything's great music, you know? But I like hearing creators that agree with me as far as, like, how I feel about the world, you know? Stranded Lullaby gives me cutesy but crushingly depressing feelings. Like, More Than Words is an old standby. That's a good choice. Listen on quiet night, healing music in winter, working background music, heartwarming music. It sounds like something that you could play out of like a music box and it wouldn't sound weird. Learning how to play piano might be worth learning. But it's one of those things that it's just like, I'd rather learn guitar better. This is like comfy winter music, isn't it? Jack Johnson. I'll probably just leave the chat up after I'm done streaming and copy paste everything you are like saying. And look for that stuff. Talking Heads, This Must Be the Place. Do I have a tinier brush than this? I feel like I must. This one I haven't touched, so the tip is still real neat and sharp. Try trumpet or sax. I don't really have interest in either of those instruments. Okay. I need to like get this wet so that way all the bristles kind of hang together. I always forget that about new brushes, is they don't clump together like I'm expecting. Is that it? Really? No, that was premature turning off. It was just the normal, like, battery or read time error thing. I mean, this music's adorable. So maybe some of this. You guys can't hear it, so you don't know what I'm talking about. But just anime winter music kind of crap. Like the nice soulful end episode after like one of those kind of animes where they haven't even tried to develop plot. It's just been about plot the whole time. And then they come out with like the episode where like someone's like, my mother died. I'll be with you forever, so and so. It's that kind of music. Some heartfelt speech, and then they like start crying. That might be alright. I feel like I might have just ruined it for myself with that description. That's not a fun fact, Chop Hounder. That's a weird fact. It's a bad fact. A fact. I'm gonna have to check and see how the playback reviews. Whose mother is dying on your wedding day? It's definitely that kind of music. Here, let me link it. That doesn't work, does it? There you go. It only works if I link it through that account. Sometimes it'll say Column and sometimes it'll say Rev Scarecrow. I'm not sure what that's about. It depends on which window I open it with. I feel like I'm doing really sloppy painting right now. But this is all fixable issues that I'm doing right now. So I'm kind of just like accepting that I'm not doing it right now. Read about misfolding proteins cause other proteins in your brain to misfold. I've been, since I got sick, I've been trying to cut down on my caffeine intake. Because I'm sure that's just not good for me, the amount of caffeine I was drinking there. And I find that I have less anxiety and I can go to bed at an easier time. And I have an easier time waking up. Like, it doesn't feel like, as much of a pain to try and get up in the morning now. So I think that's that working. I've got a little bit of hype for the new Resident Evil, but not a lot, because I didn't really grow up like playing it. So, because I was a 64 kid, and also that was like just outside of my age range. So I wouldn't have had access to that game growing up. Danny Boy is like not a good bop for a wedding. That's what you play at a funeral. I'm going to try and get ahead on arcade stuff so that way I can just have... I did the math, and it's like the wedding, we're going to have to... It's going to be very close to the wedding when I put out a video. So it's just like... If I put out the video and it's kind of chunky the week of the wedding, I apologize. If it's not good, I apologize as well. But it should be a highlight video if I did my math right. Just kind of going back and forth on the color here. Needs to be lighter than this. And bluer. And less brown. Play Rules of Nature at your wedding. I don't know as if everyone would be into that. I have a bad caffeine addiction as well, and I'm trying to break myself of it. Just being unconscious for like a week was, I think, what I needed in order to do that. But I'm trying not to get back on it as much. I inevitably will. But I'm going to try not to, because that's not good. Anxiety levels were higher. And stuff. I feel like my quality of my stream is better when I'm caffeinated. So I'll aim to over-caffeinate myself before I like go live, so that way I'm like maximum hype, my maximum energy. I can really go into it with like just any old garbage coming out of my mouth, but just like that self-censoring that I do, and I think a lot of people do, where they kind of hold themselves back because they're like, I don't know, like that's dumb, and then the moment's passed. I need to get rid of a little bit of that, and I think the caffeine allows me to just quicker get to like garbage, and it also just makes me sound like a raving lunatic, which is great. Like that's fine with me. Play Sicko Mode at your wedding. I don't know what that song is, but I feel like it's not quite what I'm looking for. But thank you for the suggestion. Yeah, this YouTube video is actually like perfect. It's like I probably wouldn't just listen to it, but it's instrumental, so when we run out of other stuff, because we need to have like, I mean, a wedding is a long time. That's the other problem. It's not just like I need like a handful of songs, like counting the ceremony like itself, it's gonna be like a 5 or 6 hour thing. So just like, I don't know. ELO. Tilda's a huge ELO fan, so that might that actually might be in the cards. I mean, this is like winter-based music. Is there fall-based music? Like, I know what fall-based music sounds like. It sounds like Over the Garden Wall. But, like, is there like a soundtrack like this for fall? Because that might be good. I'm not totally convinced by this at all. I say I'm not totally convinced by this as if I'm any bit convinced by this. I'm not a fan of this right now at all. Like, this is the part that has to be real clean. Everything else can be a little bit wonky. Will Herman be the best man at your wedding? No, I got someone else picked out, but, you know, with this whole government shutdown thing, I'm a little bit concerned about people making it, you know? Like, Tilda's folks are all from New York, so they're going to be flying in, and it's just like, well, how do you fly when the government shut down and it's taking forever to get through TSA? Like, they're just canceling flights, and if they cancel the wrong flight, some people may not be able to show up to the wedding, you know? So, Herman may end up being the best man if things go wrong. My brother and my dad are both going to play a set, so I didn't really want to have either of them, because it's just like, you know, I just want them to be doing what they've done in their life. As far as for me, I know, like, asking your brother to be like your best man is like standard, but like I feel like him showing off his musical prowess. I really want my wedding to be just kind of showing off all the special people in our lives, you know, and connecting up the two families, because my folks have not met Tilda's folks in person yet. Just, you know, the nature of them living several states away. And her folks don't really know any of my friends. Get Herman a little bow tie, that would be adorable. I had arranged a song I was going to suggest, but I can't find it. It seems to have been swept away in YouTube's claim system. That's another problem. Maybe I should just download this video I'm listening to. Because if it is perfect... I mean, how long is it? An hour and 3? That sounds good. Yeah, you should probably go to sleep, dude. Sergi. Like, if you got a test in the morning, get some sleep. At a certain point, studying won't do you any good. Sleeping will do you more help. Good luck. Looks alright. It's better. Still not quite there. Hey Toxic, how you doing? Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's something that people don't recognize. It's like, sleep is super important. There'd be certain nights when I was studying that I would just, like, go to sleep instead of studying. Because it's just like, I don't have enough time to study. I can study some in the morning. But I was also not the best student. So, maybe don't take my advice. But sleep is important, so take that advice. Ignore everything else I say. Are you wearing contact lenses, or is your sight that bad? My sight is bad at distance, but not close up. So I'm fine, but I do have to, like, lean back and forth in order to read chat. But it's not... My sight is good enough that as long as it's, like, within arm's reach, I'm fine. I can see things with fairly decent clarity. Anything that I could hit with a softball when I'm half awake, I can see. Like, fairly decently. Like, not long distance, but like a few steps away, sure. But are links allowed? YouTube auto hides them, So they are, just like let me know and then I'll permit it. Just link it and then it'll go away and then it'll pop back up when I get around to it. YouTube just itself has like a censoring system. So if you try and say like an F-bomb or whatever, or cucumber, it'll censor it unless if I permit it. In which case then it'll be up and you can read it, which is what happened a little bit earlier when I think it was Punstar said a curse word and I permitted it because I don't care. I think that actually might be the real... Okay, we are actually out of battery for wheelsies now. I barely made any progress, but that's because I'm dumb and didn't charge my battery. Whoops. But yeah, this song... I'm just going to make like a YouTube, like a folder. Wedding music. And that'll go in there. This song has literally, I think, looped like 5 times. It's gone nowhere, but... That's coming along. It looks like a thing. It looks more like a lighthouse than it did. I don't know. We'll see. Thank you to everyone on Patreon. It's from a group that arranges Toho mixes. It seems like that might be good. Is this a Toho song? I think this is just a song. Massive cucumber. YouTube is being a bit of a cucumber right now, yes. But that's honestly just my computer, or my camera running out of battery. So I guess we're done for now. I apologize for the short stream, but it's about when I needed to stop anyway, I guess. We'll have gone for another, like, 15 minutes. But anyway, I'll see you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for dropping by. Sorry it was as short as it was, but I'll see you guys around. You guys have a good night. Check out After Hours if you haven't already. Catch up on Dark Souls because there's a lot to catch up on. I just tried to put a ghost ring on my finger and it caught, and I thought I was gonna have to break my finger off. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I'll see you guys later. Bye.